How you doing, Ivan?
Good man. How are you,
I'm
Albert?
good, thank you. I saw Expired, man. It was such a good movie. It was something I was not expecting in terms of the story, but damn, you did a good job on it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah, it's trying to not trying to kind of be the same as everything else.
Exactly, and I think that's what I like about indie films, that they've been totally original and creative, and this was definitely original and creative, especially with the story.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a story that's yeah. It took about 10 years to finally, from the first word hitting the page to it.
Oh
Um,
wow! So where did the idea come from for this movie?
Like usually when I write films, like it comes from a location first. And when I went to Hong Kong over 10 years ago, I was just blown away by the feeling and the cityscape and the futuristic feeling, but it also has this kind of grit and almost a romantic kind of ambience as well, and which is, it's very cyberpunk. And I just, yeah, I got this feeling that I want to write a story set there, and the characters really just grew from people I came across in Hong Kong and China, and evolved that way.
That's awesome. And what I liked was the actual concept itself about a guy who's never felt love before. And as he finally finds love, something happens to him, but not in a good way. He's literally deteriorating. It's something that you would see in like a Blade Run, like something like Blade Runner, or like a Blade Runner-esque type environment, just the way it came out. And Ryan pulled off the performance so nicely in this. Like he had that cold intensity in his eyes, but at the same time, even when he's feeling love, you get the slightest bit of warmness in his heart, but
Yeah.
he still keeps that cold intensity.
Yeah.
What was it like working with him?
Look, Ryan is he's an absolute dream to work with. He's the most incredible human being first, and an incredible actor. But yeah, it's so easy to go to work with Ryan, and I was so happy when he agreed to come on board and play the role of Jack. Yeah, I worked with him on a previous film called Mystery Road, and it was just a small role, and it was a long time ago. He was still filming True Blood at that point, and he came in for a few days, and he flew back to LA, and I just felt that, yeah, I wanted to work with him again, and I pitched it to him then, actually, and he was really into the idea. Way back in 2012 it was when I first mentioned to him, and yeah, he's an absolute talent and absolute gem to work with. He's, yeah, can't nothing but good words for Ryan.
That's awesome. And I talked to Jillian last week, and she had such great things to say, but she gave me the funny story of how she got approached for the project. Like she thought you weren't like an Australian filmmaker. She thought you were like someone else, and she just blew it off. And then it was her agent who finally told her, no, this guy's one of Australia's like great filmmakers. You gotta give us a shot. And but she had such great things to say and about you and everyone. And she even liked the concept. She told me like she did all of her own singing, and she just pulled off a brilliant performance. And I'm hoping to see more of her down the road, because I feel like she's definitely a star in the making. And what from your viewpoint, what was it like working with her?
Look, she's such a trooper. She was 100% into this role, and into the whole film, and into the whole idea of going to Hong Kong and making this film with Hugo and Ryan. And it was a difficult thing to do, to find someone who could speak another language, and sing in another language, and be able to dance and translate stuff. And she had a harder job to do than Ryan or Hugo. And she's definitely, it was her first real film, and she just blew it out of the park. She knocked it. And so yeah, she's well on her way, and incredible to work with, and nothing was too hard. Yeah, and even now she's just so excited about the film coming out, and so supportive in
Oh yeah.
getting putting it out there. Yeah.
She fell in love with Hong Kong, and then we even veered off for a bit, talking about like our favorite Hong Kong movies, because I studied that in college, so that was quite a delight to hear her talk about that. And Hugo Weaving, I can't say enough about him. That guy's a legend.
Yes.
So
he's a legend on screen and off screen. He's such a generous, warm human being as well, you know. And yeah, he's Hugo. He's just got such an incredible presence, and you know, he's so adaptable to different situations.
And I like that for once in recent films he hasn't played a bad guy, so that really helped too. Like, he's not really a bad guy in this.
That's interesting, because you know, for some people he's kind of the bad guy, but the thing about this film, it's in this genre setting, but it's about those qualities within all of us. It's not, you know, it's not separating that part into, you know, all the badness goes to one person and all the goodness to another. And
yeah, exactly. I mean, he showed shades, but deep down he wasn't really a bad guy. You know, he was helping Jack look for the truth.
Yeah. But they all have shades, you know, and I mean, yeah, they all show this complexity.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I liked. There wasn't really a bad guy, good guy type dynamic. It was more just someone seeking the truth and about who they are and what are they going through, and why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And that's what I really liked about this film. It's something so different, and it was so fresh. And that's something you rarely get with films these days. You know, everything's mostly reboots or, you know, rehashes or same plots. But that's what I like about indie films, especially ones that are not from the US, because they come up with more original stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the higher the budget you work with, the more pressure you get to conform to of what's expected. Yeah.
So how long did shooting take, and what difficulties did you face during shooting?
Well, the shoot was about 4 weeks, and the difficulty, I think we went to Hong Kong first, and that was the hard part, because we had so much to shoot in a very short amount of time. And so we just shot more than half the film in a very, very tight shooting period. And that kind of, I don't know, it almost wrecked me. That running around in the streets of Hong Kong. But, you know, we used the energy of the place, and I think that's what got us through. And I think you can feel that in the film. You can kind of on the street, and you're with the people of Hong Kong, and you're really feeling the world of the characters.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and that was probably the hardest. When we got back to Australia, we were still on summer location, but mostly a studio environment. And things just, you know, it was just chilled out from that point, and we just, you know, steadily got to the finish line.
Well, what I liked about it being set in Hong Kong, and especially with this film, this felt like I actually was watching a Hong Kong film. For some reason, I felt like it was inspired by, like, I was thinking maybe something like Johnny To, or maybe even Wong Kar-wai, something they would have done at this point, because I felt that energy, something, because Hong Kong cinema's, you know, for me it's on life support. You know, their films haven't, you know, they're more conformed to mainland China now, but this felt like I had the energy of a true Hong Kong film, even though it's an Australian film.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about it. It's Australian people making a film set in Hong Kong, but you know, we used a Hong Kong crew and a lot of Hong Kong based people, and I have watched a lot of Hong Kong cinema, and I'm a big fan of Hong Kong cinema. And I mean, I've seen all of Johnny To's films, and they do have this certain kind of ambience and energy. And I mean, you're film cultured, you know, you are, because other people would just say it reminds them of Blade Runner or something. But for me, that's being culturally ignorant, because you know, these people just say that because they haven't seen anything else. You know? Like, well, actually, you go to Hong Kong and you watch Hong Kong cinema, and you actually read that Ridley Scott was heavily influenced by trips to Hong Kong when he made the original Blade Runner.
Yeah, and he even had the Shaw brothers like co-produce the movie, so I mean, that's understandable. But I really felt like you brought that. I think you brought that Hong Kong style energy to this film, like, you know, not just the whole cyberpunk thing, but it just felt like I was watching something that Johnny Toe would have made, or even help make if that was the case. It just
Yeah.
I just had that energy, but that's what made this so good. And this, like I said, the concept is so original, so that even made it more, you know, elevated.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go there and kind of, you know, just make another Hong Kong film. It was like, it's really, you know, the expression of who we are as we head into the future as human beings, and our relationship with our connective emotions of love and trust, and the erosion of that, the possible erosion of that into the future. I mean, I don't know about possible. I think it's already happening, and how much of that we are willing to let go of for our own self-preservation, which I think, you know, has connections to what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So finally, now that Expire is coming out this week, what's next for you that you can talk about after this movie?
Oh, the next film is it's a story about a police officer who goes to review a cold case in a small outback town, and his relationship with the family of the victim of the crime. And it's pretty drama driven, and but in this world of kind of mystery as well. But yeah, we've got a quite a well-known Aussie actor who you will know very well, but we're just not quite ready to announce that yet.
That's all right. I'll be on the lookout for that. Especially if you said if someone I know, I gotta look out for that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep that.
Limbo. Limbo is the name of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone, Expired is coming out Friday, and those who want to see a futuristic style Hong Kong energy with like something fresh and different about love and feelings and the, you know, everything mixed together with a stellar cast, they're going to want to see this film. This was a fantastic film. Probably this might end up on my top 10 of the year. And Ivan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. You take care and you stay safe.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.